What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Julia, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about 5 popular fit girl things that I shockingly don't do, yet I've achieved my leanest physique and I am maintaining my leanest physique. I truly feel incredible, and I also feel like this video is going to be slightly controversial, but oh well, we're doing it anyways because like always, I am speaking from my own personal experience. So take it all with a grain of salt. And without further ado, make sure you're subscribed and let's get into it. And when I say fit girl things, I'm kind of just talking about like the stereotypical things you're told that you need to do in order to lose weight, lose body fat, and get super lean. So just keep that in mind. Sorry for the change in lighting. It got extremely dark outside, so I had to turn a light on. Also had to fix my braid because there was just something wonky going on with the last one. But anyway, jumping in to number 1, I do not track macros or calories. It's just not something I do on a consistent day-to-day basis. However, I do think that tracking is such an incredibly helpful tool, and I do and will track from time to time for different reasons. Just right now, at this point in my health and fitness journey, especially now since I am in a maintenance phase, it's not necessary. I am such a creature of habit. I am always eating the same foods. I have a really good understanding of how to properly fuel my body, and I'm really good at listening to my body. All of these things come with time and experience, but for those reasons, it's not necessary for me to track every single day. I have experimented so much with tracking macros, tracking calories, playing around with them. I know what my maintenance calories are and what that feels like for my body. Same goes for my calorie deficit calories and my calorie surplus calories and what that amount of fuel feels like. And since I've experimented so much and gone through so much trial and error, and I know how those things feel, it's not always necessary for me to be tracking. And like I said, I will utilize tracking as a tool from time to time. So maybe once a month or once every 2 months, I'll track for a day just to make sure I'm consuming what I need to consume, to make sure I'm getting enough protein in, getting enough carbs in, enough healthy fats, getting my micronutrients in. Like, it's kind of just a check-in with myself. And then if I am going through a cut or a reverse diet, or if I'm bulking, I will track for about a week or 2 just to make sure I'm consistently in that deficit or slowly working back up or building. Like, I really just use it as a tool, and it's never for long periods of time. It's usually for 1 day to 2 weeks at the max. And when I do track, it's never super accurate tracking because that's just tedious for me to weigh everything out and measure everything perfectly. So it's pretty loose when I'm tracking, but it's really just to make sure I'm consuming what I should be consuming and just get a better understanding of what I'm putting into my body. But I am by no means someone who tracks every single day. That's just not me. It's not me at all, and it's not ever gonna be me. Going right off of that, number 2 is that I don't follow a specific diet. I also don't fall for any fad diets. I pretty much just eat whatever the heck I want, but keep in mind, I do have a background in sports nutrition. I'm very educated when it comes to nutrition. I know how to properly fuel my body, and I enjoy properly fueling my body because that's when I feel my best. But I am by no means the picture of health. Like, if you look at my grocery hauls and my full days of eating, there are definitely some unhealthy foods in there, but that's because for me, it is all about balance. And if I had to describe my diet, it would be the 80-20 rule. And if you haven't heard of it, it pretty much means that 80% of the foods you are eating are whole, natural, healthy, minimally processed foods. And then the other 20% are your more processed foods. For a lot of people, this is desserts, this is a cheat meal, this is alcohol. For me personally, my 80% would be those whole, healthy, natural foods like my fresh fruits, my fresh veggies, lean protein sources, eggs, nuts, stuff like that. My 20% personally, I don't drink. I do like desserts, but it's really just like ice cream. But really my 20% is breads, bagels, pasta. Love that stuff. Can't live without it. So that is my balance. That's what works for me. That's what makes me feel my best and feel very fueled and energized. And that's how I would describe my diet, but that's just the way I enjoy eating, and it works for me. It brings me a ton of success, and I think that's part of the reason why I have such a great relationship with food. So that would be number 2. All right, last one having to do with nutrition. Number 3 is that I don't eat crazy high amounts of protein. And I already know this is gonna be the controversial one, but just hear me out, okay? I eat plenty of protein, like a very sufficient amount of protein. I know the importance of protein. I'm always stressing it to you guys. I know my body needs it to hang on to muscle mass, and my muscles need it to repair, rebuild, recover. Like, I know how essential protein is, so trust me when I say I am eating an extremely sufficient amount. However, I used to overconsume protein like crazy. About a year ago, year and a half ago, I had this absurd protein goal set for myself. Like, absolutely absurd. Way more protein than I could ever need. And I'm a dense gal. I've got a lot of muscle. I weigh a lot more than people think. I need a lot of protein. But this protein goal, even my minimum at this time in my life, was just crazy high. And it caused me to overconsume and eat way more than I needed to in order to reach that goal. But I didn't care because I wanted to reach that goal. You know, like I thought that was the end all and be all. And it's because protein is always so heavily stressed in the fitness space and more is always better. But in my case, more was not better. Like I was already consuming enough and I just took it way too far with the protein. By the end of the day, I would feel crappy and lethargic and heavy, and I just didn't like it at all. So once I kind of sat down and assessed how I felt, I ended up knocking back my protein a bit, and it truly made all the difference. No longer feel crappy, lethargic, heavy, and big at the end of the night. Like, I feel incredible. And for me, that little shift in protein really made such a difference. So more is not always better, because you could be someone who's already consuming a very sufficient amount of protein. And especially coming from collegiate gymnastics where protein was so heavily stressed, and then getting into lifting and personal training, like I just thought that more was better, but that wasn't the case for me. So right now at this stage in my health and fitness journey, I'm consuming less protein, but I feel my best. I feel my best in the gym. I'm still lifting tons of weight. Like, I just think I have finally found the sweet spot for my protein goal. And it really does come down to that trial and error. I'm always telling you guys to experiment with yourself and your macros. And that's why I'm not telling you my old protein goal versus my current protein goal. Like, it's still high, it's still sufficient, but before it was just absurd. So I don't eat those crazy high amounts of protein. I eat a very sufficient amount of protein, and that's just what works for me. Moving into fitness, number 4 is that I do not work out every single day. Yes, I move my body every day by walking. That's just something I love doing, helps me feel my best. But if we're talking proper workouts, I only work out 4 days a week. 2 of those days are upper body focused, 2 of those days are lower body focused, and they are all strength training focused lifts. This also came from trial and error. I used to work out way more than I do now. I'm probably working out the least I ever have, yet I feel my best. I feel like I look my best, and this is just the perfect training split for me. So don't think that I'm someone that works out every single day. Yes, I walk every day, but I only properly work out by lifting 4 days a week. All right, finishing strong with another controversial one. Number 5 is that I don't do any intense HIIT sessions or any intense cardio sessions. Back in August when I started my cut, I took out all HIIT, I took out all super intense cardio, and I just stuck to my 4 strength training days a week, and then I did low intensity steady state cardio through walking and incline walking. I never reintroduced the HIIT or the super intense cardio back into my routine, and I have never felt better. I feel like HIIT gets all this praise for being this incredible workout, and you burn so many calories during and you keep burning calories after. But you know what's really incredible? Having muscle on your body. Like, that's what people should strive for. That's what really makes a change. That's what really speeds up your metabolism, because the more muscle you have on your body, the more calories your body needs at rest to sustain that muscle. So 10 times out of 10, if you want the most bang for buck out of your workout, you should be choosing a strength workout. And I've always been someone who prioritizes my strength training over my cardio, but I did supplement with HIIT training 2 times a week for a long time. And then once I took that HIIT training out of my routine, I realized that it wasn't helping me at all. I started seeing so much more progress after removing HIIT. So contrary to popular belief, I do not do any HIIT. I do not do any super intense cardio. I do my 4 days a week of strength training, and I do my low intensity, steady state cardio through walking and incline walking, and I feel incredible. So don't think that HIIT is the answer. I promise you, strength training will always be the best bang for your buck. And that is gonna wrap up these 5 popular fit girl things that I shockingly don't do. Once again, this all just comes from my own experience, my own trial and error. And at this point in my health and fitness journey, I feel like those 5 things just aren't necessary in order for me to find success and reach my goals. But years ago, they may have been. So take this all with a grain of salt, because I have been in the health and fitness space for years. I have dabbled with so many different types of workouts. I've switched up my nutrition a ton. I've made a ton of mistakes, but I've learned from all of it. And I highly recommend you do the same, because you'll eventually learn what works best for you. I always say this, we are all so uniquely different. We have different fitness backgrounds. We have different body types. We have different metabolisms. So what works for me isn't going to always work for you. And at the end of the day, you should be doing what works best for you. And at this stage in my health and fitness journey, I can confidently say that I have never felt better. I've never been more confident. I feel like I look my best. I'm performing incredibly in the gym. And I feel like I have just finally cracked the code to the perfect health and fitness routine for me. And I hope that you guys can do the same. But I'm gonna wrap this video up here. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give this video a like. Make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you all next time. Bye.